Welcome, dear children, to today's topic. Today we are discussing cells, EMF, and internal resistance. The word cell is familiar to you. It is mainly used as a source of potential difference or a device which is used to provide constant potential difference between the ends of a conductor. That's what we mean by cell. EMF, the word EMF, it stands for electromotive force and internal resistance. Now let's discuss what are these. So actually, what is an electric cell? In an electric cell, it converts chemical energy to electrical energy. Actually, it consists of two electrodes. One is called cathode, the other is called anode, and it is these two electrodes are immersed in a solution called electrolyte. And if there are many cells connected together, it constitutes a battery. So cell means single, battery means more than one. And when a cell is connected to a circuit, in the external circuit, the current flows from positive to negative, but within the cell, current will be flowing from negative to positive. I repeat, when current is flowing or when current is drawn from the cell, in the external circuit, the current will be flowing from positive to negative, and inside the cell, the current will be flowing from negative to positive through the electrolyte. So inside the cell, there is a current flow through the electrolyte which is directed from negative terminal to the positive terminal. So this diagram shows a simple electrolytic cell. Consists of two electrodes, and the two electrodes are connected through an external resistor. So this is the external resistor. Okay, so through that external load, so that external resistance connected, it is also called as load. So through that load resistor, current is flowing. So it flows from positive to negative, so that inside the cell, through the electrolyte, a current is flowing from negative to positive. So in this direction, current is flowing inside the cell through the electrolyte. So this is the case with a simple electrolytic cell. So for an electrolytic cell, what we mean by an EMF? So an EMF means the potential difference between the terminals of a cell when no current is drawn from the cell, or when no current flows through the circuit, in the external circuit, when no current flows, what is the terminal potential difference? What do you mean by terminal potential difference? Difference in potential between the two terminals of the cell. That's what we mean by terminal potential difference. So the terminal potential difference when no current is drawn from the cell, that is what we mean by EMF. So that is a word which is little bit misleading, because EMF, as I said, electromotive force. So we will mistake it as what? A force, but actually EMF is not a force, it is actually a potential difference. Okay. Because of this potential difference, only current flows. So under that assumption, that means something is moving. No. So before the logic behind the flow of current was introduced, this EMF was called as EMF, as some force. Okay, but actually it's not a force, it is a potential difference. Okay, so EMF is nothing but terminal potential difference when no current is drawn from the cell or no current flows through the external circuit. Sometimes we define EMF as the terminal potential difference when the cell is in an open circuit. Open circuit means the circuit is not closed, means no current is flowing. That's what. So that is about the term EMF. Now coming to the term internal resistance. As I said earlier, in the case of the cell, when it is connected to an external circuit, current will be flowing from positive to negative in the external circuit, and the current is directed from negative to positive. So this is negative and this is positive. Okay, from negative to positive inside the cell. So through the electrolyte, current is flowing. So the resistance offered by the electrolyte of the cell towards the flow of current through it, that resistance is known as internal resistance. So internal resistance means resistance offered by the electrolyte of the cell. That's what we mean by internal resistance. So for a cell of EMF epsilon and internal resistance R, the potential difference between the terminals of a cell when a current I flows through an external resistance capital R is given by V is equal to epsilon minus IR. Very, very important equation is this. That is, it means that when a current I is drawn from the cell, okay, when a current I, it is flowing through an external resistance R, means from the cell a current is drawn and that current is flowing through capital R, capital letter R. In that case, the potential difference between the terminals of the cell is given by V is equal to epsilon minus IR, where epsilon is EMF and small letter r is the internal resistance. So the EMF, potential difference and current and internal resistance, they are related by this equation. Now, when a cell is getting charged, so both the cases are different. When a cell is getting charged, the equation becomes, that means the potential, terminal potential difference becomes V is equal to epsilon plus IR. This diagram shows a cell getting charged. So for a cell which is getting charged, the terminal potential difference is given by V is equal to epsilon plus IR. Okay, so in that case, the current is flowing into the cell, not from the cell. The current is flowing into the cell. Okay, so that is a point to be noted. So when the cell sends current, terminal potential difference is epsilon minus IR. And when the cell is getting charged, V is equal to epsilon plus IR. Now, what is the expression for current? So, we consider a cell of EMF epsilon and internal resistance small letter r connected to an external resistance capital letter R. So, from the cell, current I is flowing. So, when we write V is equal to epsilon minus IR, that's what we learnt now. Now, by Ohm's law, what is V? V is the potential difference between the ends of the conductor. So, it is V is equal to IR. Okay, V. So, that is the terminal potential difference across the cell. That is the same as potential difference across the ends of the conductor, because that potential difference is provided across the ends of the conductor. So, here V is equal to IR and V is equal to epsilon minus IR. So, the two equations, right hand sides are the same. So, you can equate them. And by rearranging, we will get the expression for current to be epsilon divided by small letter r plus capital letter R. That means I is equal to epsilon divided by internal resistance plus external resistance. That means the total resistance. Now, the current drawn from the cell is maximum when R is equal to 0. So, we already got I is equal to epsilon by R plus R, and this current is said to be maximum when capital letter R is equal to 0. That means when external resistance is equal to 0. That maximum current is given by epsilon by small letter r. So, epsilon is the EMF and small letter r is the internal resistance. So, this is the case. That means what is the maximum current a cell can send? Okay, not more than this. Maximum is this epsilon by r, where small letter r is the internal resistance. Now, the power dissipated in the external resistance, This external resistance is also called as load. That power dissipated in the external resistance P is equal to VI, where V is IR. So that is I square R. So substituting, we have epsilon divided by R plus R whole square into R. Just a substitution. Now there is a theorem called maximum power transfer theorem. For that, according to that, power delivered is maximum when the external resistance is equal to internal resistance. When external resistance R is equal to the internal resistance, power transferred by the cell will be maximum. So power maximum, that means maximum power delivered, will be equal to epsilon square divided by, putting capital letter R equal to small letter r, we will have 2R whole square into R. So it is epsilon square by 4R. So this is the expression for maximum power transferred. Now here we have to note a term. So this, I don't know whether you have noted it or not. I have written term called closed circuit. So this circuit is called closed circuit because current is flowing through the circuit. Okay. Now we have open circuit and short circuit. Okay, so open circuit means what? Here also external resistance is connected, but this is not closed. It is kept open. Okay, the switch is not in on position or key is not closed. So such types of circuit we call open circuit and current is not flowing. Okay, and here we have short circuit. That means simply the ends of the cell are connected together with a wire. Okay, so when a very thick wire is used, its resistance will be very less. In such a case, we call it as short circuit, thick wire. If we are using thin wire, means it will have sufficient resistance. So that resistance of that wire itself act as a next means external resistance, capital letter R. So that is not the case when the ends of the cell, when the terminals of the cell are connected together with a thick wire, that is said to be short circuit. And in that short circuit, no momentary current will be flowing through the circuit, that means through the wire, and that current will be what? Epsilon by small letter r, that means maximum current. Now we will discuss combination of cells. That means the cells, as we discussed the combination of capacitors and resistors, we can connect to the cell either in series or in parallel. First, let's consider series combination of two cells. Okay, so we have the two cells here whose EMFs are epsilon 1 and epsilon 2 and internal resistances are R1 and R2. Okay, so two cells. The negative of first cell is connected to the positive of the second cell. Like that, the two cells are connected. So these two cells are said to be in series. Now the current sent by the cell. So since they are connected in series, same current will be flowing through the two cells. That means the system will be sending a current I, that same current. So I, that is I. Now the points I have marked, the combination is connected between the points A and C. First cell is connected between the points A and B, and second cell is connected between the points B and C. Now we replace this series combination with an equivalent cell whose EMF is epsilon equivalent and internal resistance is R equivalent. So between the points A and C, okay, between the points A and C, we have marked. So our aim is to find an expression for epsilon equivalent and R equivalent. So how will we get the expression for epsilon equivalent and R equivalent? Let's see. So here we have what the thing is this, we know in series combination, the total potential difference will be equal to the sum of potential differences. Okay, so here VAC will be equal to VAB plus VBC. So that is the point with which we will begin with. VAC is equal to VAB plus VBC. Now let's see what is this VAB. VAB, it is the same as VA minus VB, let it be. That is equal to what? It is the potential difference between the terminals of the first cell. Look, VAB is the same as the terminal potential difference of first cell. That is epsilon 1 minus IR1. Now VBC, in the same way, it is the terminal potential difference of the second cell. So VBC equal to, it is VB minus VC, that is equal to epsilon 2 minus IR2. Take care, since it is series combination, the current flowing through the two cells will be the same. Okay, so we have VAB and VBC. Now for the equivalent cell, we can write what? VAC is equal to epsilon equivalent minus I into R equivalent. Now using that equation, VAC equal to VAB plus VBC, that is equal to epsilon 1 minus IR1 plus epsilon 2 minus IR2. Now just write the similar terms together. So we have epsilon 1 plus epsilon 2 minus IR1 minus IR2, that is equal to epsilon 1 plus epsilon 2 minus I into R1 plus R2. Now these two equations, so this equation we called 1 and this as 2. So from 1 and 2 we have epsilon equivalent is equal to epsilon 1 plus epsilon 2. How we are getting? See, left hand sides are same. So we can equate right hand side. See here in right hand side there are two terms. Here also two terms. One is the term in I. So the coefficients of those two terms, that means the terms in I should be the same and the constants also should be the same. That way we are equating. So equating the constants in the two equations, we'll have epsilon equivalent equal to epsilon 1 plus epsilon 2, and equating the coefficients of what? I, we'll have R equivalent is equal to R1 plus R2. So these two equations gives you the expressions for equivalent EMF and equivalent internal resistance when the two cells are connected in series. Now when the two cells are connected like this, that means you look, negative of the cell, first cell is connected to positive. We say the cells are connected in series and the cells are aiding each other. Okay. Now if the two cells are connected in series like this also is called what? Series combination. You look, they are in series. Okay. But they are said to be opposing each other because negative of first cell is connected to negative of the second cell. So they are said to be in series opposing each other. In such a case, the expression for equivalent resistance, internal resistance remains the same, but equivalent EMF becomes what? Epsilon 1 minus epsilon 2. So there is a difference in sign. So compare and study. When they aid each other, it is epsilon 1 plus epsilon 2. When they oppose each other, epsilon 1 minus epsilon 2. So the method of connection also you take care. Now we have combination of cells in parallel. So here we have two cells connected in parallel. So this is what? Epsilon 1 R1, that means cell of EMF epsilon 1 and internal resistance R1, and this is cell of epsilon 2 and R2, EMF epsilon 2 and internal resistance R2. They are connected in parallel. Okay, so both the positives are connected together, both the negatives are connected together. Now the first cell sends a current I1 and second cell sends a current I2. Okay, and these two current join to form I. Okay, so between A and B, the two cells are connected. Okay, the cell of EMF epsilon 1 sends a current I1 and cell of EMF epsilon 2 sends a current I2. so that total current I becomes I1 plus I2. Okay, we replace this combination with an equivalent cell whose EMF is epsilon equivalent and internal resistances are equivalent. So between the 2 points A and B. So here, what is the case? Since the cells are connected in parallel, their terminal potential difference will be the same. That means VAB will be the same as terminal potential difference of the cell of EMF epsilon 1, and that will be the same as the terminal potential difference between the cell of EMF epsilon 2. Okay, so that is the case. So that terminal potential difference we write as V. So V is that common terminal potential difference. So what can we write? V is equal to epsilon 1 minus I1 R1, and V is the same as epsilon 2 minus I2 R2. Now writing for this equivalent cell, we have V is equal to epsilon equivalent minus I R equivalent, where this I is the total current, that is I1 plus I2. Okay. Now we can rearrange these three equations. So rearranging this equation, we have I1 is equal to epsilon 1 minus V by R1 and I2 is equal to epsilon 2 minus V by R2. Similarly, here from this equation epsilon, that means I is equal to epsilon equivalent minus V by R equivalent. So we call these three equations as 1, 2 and 3. And we know I is equal to I1 plus I2. So substituting, we have epsilon equivalent minus V by R equivalent is equal to epsilon 1 minus V by R1 plus epsilon 2 minus V by R2. Just substituted. Now just split the terms. So we have epsilon equivalent by R equivalent minus V by R equivalent equal to epsilon 1 by R1 minus V by R1 plus epsilon 2 by R2 minus V by R2. In the next step, we have to rearrange the terms. Rearranging right hand side, we have, so left hand side is epsilon equivalent by R equivalent minus V into 1 by R equivalent, just rearranged. Here we have epsilon 1 by R1 plus epsilon 2 by R2 minus V into 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2. Okay, so as we stated earlier, when we equate to the coefficients of V on either side we have the terms in V. So we have, they should be same. That means the coefficients of V on either side should be the same. So we have 1 by R equivalent is equal to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2. Just like two resistances connected in parallel. Okay, so in the case of two cells, when you solve this equation, you will get R equivalent equal to R1 R2 by R1 plus R2. Now equating the constants on either sides, we have epsilon equivalent by R equivalent is equal to epsilon 1 by R1 plus epsilon 2 by R2. That is this equation. So these two equations give the expressions for equivalent EMF and equivalent internal resistance of two cells connected in parallel. Okay, so first you have to find R equivalent, then you have to substitute that R equivalent in this equation. Then only you will get epsilon equivalent. So two equations for the cells connected in parallel. So here the two cells connected, that means positive to positive, negative to negative. The cells are said to be aiding each other. They are connected in parallel, aiding each other. So in that case, that is these two are the equations. Now when the two cells are connected in parallel itself, but like this, you see, positive of first cell is connected to negative of the second cell. Negative of the first cell is connected to positive of the first cell. But they are connected in parallel. So they are supposed to oppose each other in parallel. In that case, the expression for equivalent resistance, internal resistance, no, that remains the same. 1 by R equivalent is equal to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2. But the expression for epsilon equivalent EMF, it becomes epsilon equivalent by R equivalent is equal to epsilon 1 by R1 minus epsilon 2 by R2. So there is a difference in sign when they aid each other and when they oppose each other. So these are the equations for the equivalent EMF and equivalent internal resistance. The thing is this, we derived the expression for two cells in both the case, series and parallel. Actually, you can extend that equation to n terms. How many cells are connected in series or parallel? To that many cells, you can just extend the equations. Now coming to the exercise questions. Question 1, 3.1. The storage battery of a car has an EMF of 12 volt. If the internal resistance of the battery is 0.4 ohm, what is the maximum current that can be drawn from the battery? Maximum current means what? External resistance is 0. So it is simply I is equal to E by small r, that is 12 by 0.4, that is 30 ampere. So maximum current drawn by the given battery from the given battery is 30 ampere. Now coming to 3.2, a battery of EMF 10 volt and internal resistance 3 ohm is connected to a resistor. If the current in the circuit is 0.5 ampere, what is the resistance of the resistor? What is the terminal voltage of the battery when the circuit is closed? So EMF is 10 volt, internal resistance is what? 3 ohm. So here instead of epsilon, E is written. Okay, so don't get confused. Current in the circuit is 0.5 ampere. You're asked to find that resistance. So you have to use this equation, that is I is equal to epsilon by R plus R. Rearranging, you will get 17 ohm. So external resistance is 17 ohm, and using Ohm's law, that potential difference, that is the same as I into R. So current is given, now we got R, so you will get that potential difference to be 8.5 volt. So direct questions these are. Now question 3.3. Three resistors 1 ohm, 2 ohm and 3 ohm are combined in series. What is the total resistance? Very simple, 6 ohm. If the combination is connected to a battery of EMF 12 volt and negligible internal resistance, obtain the potential drop across each resistor. Okay, so 3 resistors, 1 ohm, 2 ohm, 3 ohm. So potential drop you are asked to find. So what will be the current through each one? It is given negligible internal resistance. So 12 by 6, current will be 2 ampere. Current will be 2 ampere. So potential drop across each resistor, you can use Ohm's law, that is V is equal to IR. Current through each one is 2 ampere because series combination. Same current will be flowing through all the 3 resistors. So just find the product IR. You will get to be 2 volt, 4 volt and 6 volt. So that is the answer. Now coming to 3.4. 3 resistors 2 ohm, 4 ohm and 5 ohm are combined in parallel. What is the total resistance of the combination? So that we have to calculate using the equation 1 by R is equal to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 plus 1 by R3. So calculating, you will get R is equal to 20 by 19 ohm. Now the second part of the question is, if the combination is connected to a battery of EMF 20 volt and negligible internal resistance, determine the current through each resistor and the total current drawn from the battery. Current through each resistor we are asked to find, and total current drawn from the battery. So the combination has got resistance 20 by 19. So what will be the total current? EMF divided by total resistance, that means effective resistance. So that will be 20 by 20 by 19. You will be getting 19 ampere. That is the total current. Now current through each resistor you are asked to find. So the thing is this, since the EMF of the battery is 20 volt, the potential drop across each one will be 20 volt. So you can easily calculate that current. Through first resistor it will be 20 by 2, that is 10 ampere. Through second resistor the current will be 20 by 4, that is 5 ampere, and through third resistor it will be 20 by 5, that is 4 ampere. So that way we are getting the sum as 19 ampere, or otherwise 20 by 19 also will give you 19 ampere. So total current flowing through the circuit is 19 ampere. With that, we conclude today's session. Thank you.